और अभी लिए चलेंगे आपको इस्लामाबाद, जहां मुशीर खारजा सरताज अजीज इस्लामाबाद में सेक्रेटरी OIC के हमरा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रही हैं।
Coming from OIC. Also would like to thank Pakistan leadership people for supporting my nomination for OIC, which I am very grateful. I hope to live up to the expectation of Ummah in the issue that facing all of us. Secondly, I discussed with His Excellency a whole range of issues that he listed now. We are in full agreement. That's why we conclude our meeting very quickly, because we are 100% in agreement with the position of the Pakistani government in the issue of especially the issue of Kashmir, Palestine, Islamophobia, Muslim communities in Europe, Muslims in non-Muslims country. And of course, all you know, this is needless to say that Pakistan is founding an important member of OIC. It plays positive role, still continue to do so. And we are very appreciative of their support for OIC position in all the major issues. We discussed the upcoming summit for science and technology. As you know, Comstic is based in Pakistan and chaired by His Excellency the President, Prime Minister, and you know, Pakistan is a leading Muslim country in science and technology and deserves to be so. Of course, I reiterate the position of OIC of condemning all the terrorist acts that happen in Pakistan or any member states or any other country. Terrorism is terrorism. It has no race, no religion, no countries. So we condemn all the acts, no matter where it's happening in the world, because Islam is the religion of peace. Islam is the religion of coexistence, respect all religion and human lives. So this is, we are in total agreement on this, and this is the position of OIC. I wish prosperity and good luck, and we will continue to work closely with the government of Pakistan and all major issue that facing our Ummah al-Islamiyya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. Now we have the short session for open question and answer. Tariq.
Thank you very much. This is Tariq Mahmood from Sama TV. What is the official stance of OIC about the situation in Indian occupied Kashmir, and especially what would OIC do when India is not allowing the fact-finding mission to Indian occupied Kashmir?
Supplementary question regarding this question. Thank you, sir. This is Abid Khurshid from ATV. India has turned down OIC couple of resolution on Kashmir, and India has not allowing independent human rights commission, human rights delegation, OIC delegation in Indian side of Kashmir. So, sir, at this stage, what role OIC can play? Do you see any role of Islamic military alliance to combat terrorism in Kashmir and Palestine? Thank you.
Thank you. You know, Kashmir issue is in the top agenda of OIC. If you follow all the resolutions and summits, you will see Kashmir is an outstanding item in of course, supporting the people of in there, and the OIC done the things that you just mentioned about the human rights delegation going and fact-finding, and of course we tried with the Indian government before if we can, they allow us into Kashmir, but unfortunately the request was denied. Then we tried to our independent human rights commission that part of OIC to go there and to have to do a report. But we should keep the pressure on every time that the occasion arises, not in the political arena and in the human rights and the legal side. This is very important to keep it alive, and we are in total agreement with the government of Pakistan on this issue in a peaceful solution to that problem. Thank you.
Both Excellencies, my question is that OIC since its inception has been the cradle of hopes for the entire Ummah. But so far when it is viewed in the conflict resolving, its mechanism is not to be seen effectively anywhere. Particularly when we see that Syria has turned out to be finally world war stage, and the big powers like America and Russia, and at the peripheries rather Iran and Hezbollah, all are entangled, and the situation is getting out of control. So what IC could do in resolving this conflict?
Your Excellency.
I think they're asking about OIC role in Syria.
Well, as you know, the OIC is an organization expresses or reflects the wishes of Ummah. This is the basic role, function of OIC. And we are invited, we are working in both sides, one in the political side and in the humanitarian side. As you all know that there was a conference in Belgium, Brussels, just last week, and there was a pledge of billions of dollars for help of Syria. In the political front, we are supporting the resolutions, the Geneva one and all its resolutions. So we are part of the United Nations effort, Arab League's effort, and of course OIC and the GCC member state, 3-4 organizations working together to have one position, because this is the only way. But at the end, there must be a political solution to the problem. The killing that cannot continue, but it must be a political solution to the conflict. And now, as you all know, the human side is tragic. Now there is 5 million refugees from Syria. It is the largest refugees problem in the history. So we support this, and we actively support the political solution. And of course, we help in mobilizing resources to ease the suffering of the refugees in neighboring countries, especially in Turkey, Jordan. These are the neighboring countries that having the largest size of refugees. But we hope the only way to solve it is through a political process, political solution based in the United Nations and Geneva I resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to welcome you to Pakistan in your first visit, and we do hope that this interaction will continue. Both of you, the Excellencies, expressed concerns about the plight of Muslims, minorities all over the world. We here see the persecution of Muslims in India, they are minority there. Then refugee problem in every European country, they are being persecuted. Whether the condemnation is enough on this scenario, or OIC is doing something or taking some initiative, whether with the consultation of the host countries wherever the Muslim minorities are suffering. And my question to Excellency Sartaj Aziz is, only yesterday we saw a $4 billion defense agreement between India and Bangladesh. While they are the independent countries, can sign any agreement, but do you have any concern in this region when such a huge sale of weapons is being agreed? And I don't know from whom Bangladesh feels any threat other than the country which is now supplying weapons to it. Thank you.
Would you like to answer the first question?
Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. This is very important question, actually. But please go easy on me because I'm still in the honeymoon. Do you remember 3 months now? But this is very important, and you know, we have now two problems, not one problem. We have the Islamophobia on one side. The other side is the terrorist acts that's been done, perpetrated by terrorists in Europe and elsewhere. We believe that Islamophobia is some form of extremism in the other side. So the terrorist act, which we condemn, no excuse for it, doesn't reflect Islam. No, this is the standard position that we always stand by this. There are 3 or 4 tracks that we are following in combating this. One is there was a contact group with Europe regarding the Muslim communities in Europe. We all know that there is at least now 20 to 25, according to estimates, 25 million Muslims living in Eastern Europe. If you add 30 or so that living in Russia, then you will have about 60 million Muslims living in Europe. This is a large chunk of Muslims living in Europe, and they need to be us as Ummah to be concerned about their plight. So the summit in Istanbul last year in August in Turkey decided to establish a contact group with Muslims community in Europe, and we are in this process, and there is now 8 to 9 countries will join this contact group and will be finalized by the coming foreign ministers summit in Côte d'Ivoire, inshallah, in September. And this contact group will be working in that project. Secondly, we are working as well, as I told His Excellency, we approach the European Union Foreign Minister that we want to open communication with the moderate leaders of Muslims communities in Europe, whether it's especially the large one in Germany, in London, and United Kingdom, France, Belgium, to be to play a bridge between the governments of Europe and our Muslim brothers and sisters in Europe. They try to encourage and recognize the moderate leaders, recognize them, and to see how can we help, how can we be positive in terms of what are our Muslims brothers expect from the governments of Europe if they have a problem with education, employment, housing, and this basic issue that any citizen anywhere in the world is looking for. And we'll see what are the governments of Europe complaining about, or if they have any observation regarding our Muslim brothers and sisters in Europe, and we will try to be an honest broker, because we are Muslims, so hopefully that our Muslim communities in Europe will trust us. And we have a special envoys and a permanent envoys from European government in OIC, so we think we are in a unique position to play that role. And of course I saw the guidance of His Excellency today, how we can help in that process, and I learned a lot of a roadmap in how to deal, because as you know, we have a Pakistanis brothers and sisters living in England. We have a large community of Muslims coming from Morocco in France and Belgium, and we have brothers and sisters coming from Turkey and Germany. So it must be a triangle, the governments, the Muslim community, and the origin country of our Muslim brothers and sisters. And we have, and of course the third effort is through the Human Rights Council in Geneva. As you know, there is 1618 resolution that deals with Islamophobia, defamation of religion, and of that sort that you alerted to. I agree with it, it's very important, and His Excellency gave me some guidance and advice that inshallah you will be benefit greatly from his advice. Thank you.
Well, I think I'll just add to that I also shared a dossier on the Indian policies towards minorities, not just Muslim, but also Christians in India, so that in this effort, these can also be taken into account. On your second question, I think it will not be appropriate for us to comment on the agreement which Bangladesh has signed with India. It is for them to decide how they want to spend their resources.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
बता दें कि मुशीर ख़ारजा सरताज अजीज़ और OIC के सेक्रेटरी जनरल की मुश्तरका प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जारी थी, जिसमें सेक्रेटरी जनरल OIC का कहना था कि इस्लाम का दीन है, रवादारी का दर्ज देता है, मसला शाम के लिए तमाम मुसलमान ममालिक मिलकर किरदार अदा करें। उन्होंने सवाल का जवाब देते हुए ये भी कहा कि शाम में किरदार अदा करने के लिए OIC अपना अहम किरदार अदा कर रहा है। कोशिश है कि उम्मा के हक़ में और उम्मा की बहबूद के लिए काम करते रहें। जबकि OIC के सेक्रेटरी जनरल ने यह भी कहा कि मसला कश्मीर OIC एजेंडे की फहरिस्त में शामिल है।